Earth had long lived in the shadow of the stars, a seemingly insignificant planet in the vast, cold expanse of the universe. For millennia, humans believed themselves to be nothing more than a fleeting species, born from dust, existing briefly under the glow of distant suns. But the aliens, they thought differently. They underestimated humanity. The Galactic Federation had watched Earth from afar. The stars, the planets, the galaxies, all had been mapped by their superior technology. They saw Earth as a primitive world, ripe for harvesting. It was a place with resources, potential slaves, and weak defense mechanisms. But they did not see the fire within humans, the resilience, the anger that surged in their veins. When the Galactic Federation made its first move, humanity was caught off guard. The aliens had deployed their elite forces, claiming Earth as part of their expanding empire. With advanced ships and armies, they quickly overpowered the Earth's primitive technologies. But they hadn't counted on one thing: human survival instinct. At the heart of Earth, in a quiet, unassuming laboratory, a team of scientists had been working on something no one knew about. Hidden beneath layers of military secrecy, the old secrets of humanity's past were being rediscovered. Ancient blueprints, forgotten archives from a time before the rise of the Galactic Federation, were being unlocked. One of the key figures in this secret project was Dr. Elara Jensen, a brilliant scientist who had long suspected that Earth's ancestors had once been part of something far greater than they had ever imagined. Through the dusty archives of the ancient archives, she pieced together clues that suggested that humanity's ancestors had once possessed a fleet of powerful ships, technology lost to time, waiting to be rediscovered. Dr. Jensen had always believed in the possibility that Earth's forgotten past held the key to its future. With the Federation's invasion, the stakes had become clear. If humanity was to survive, they would need to fight back in ways no one had ever imagined. And so, the ancient fleet was reawakened, hidden deep beneath the Earth's crust. The fleet wasn't just a collection of ships, it was a symbol of humanity's potential. The ships were equipped with technology that far outstripped the capabilities of the Galactic Federation. Ancient AI systems, alien weaponry, and long-forgotten knowledge pulsed through the veins of the ships. The Federation had no idea what was coming. The moment the first ship emerged from the depths of the Earth's surface, the ground shook. A massive, metallic beast, its surface gleaming with otherworldly technology, rose into the sky. The Federation ships of Earth's atmosphere froze in place, their sensors detecting the energy readings from the ancient vessel. But there was no time for them to react. The war had begun. The Federation's response was immediate. They sent their fleets in full force, massive warships that blotted out the sky. But what they didn't anticipate was the sheer power of Earth's ancient fleet. These ships weren't just machines, they were a testament to humanity's resilience. Each ship was a living, breathing entity, imbued with the spirit of a species unwilling to be dominated. As the battle unfolded, Dr. Jensen stood on the command deck of the lead ship, watching as Earth's forces tore through the Federation's ranks. The once mighty alien fleet, confident in their superiority, was now scrambling to defend against a foe they had long forgotten. Earth wasn't just fighting for survival, they were fighting for vengeance. But the aliens were relentless. The Galactic Federation had vast resources, and their ships were formidable. Yet, there was something about the way the humans fought. Their strategy, their ingenuity, and their unwavering will to protect their planet made them unpredictable. Earth's forces struck with surgical precision, targeting weak points in the Federation's defenses, exploiting their overconfidence. The tides of battle shifted as Earth's fleet pushed forward. One by one, Federation warships began to fall, their mighty hulls shattered by the power of Earth's ancient weapons. The once proud Federation had underestimated their enemy. Now, Earth was on the verge of rewriting the rules of galactic warfare. The Federation had made a deadly mistake. They had provoked humanity's wrath, and at the heart of the conflict, Earth's government remained silent. They didn't need to say anything. Their actions spoke louder than words. Humanity had been underestimated for too long. Now, the universe would see what Earth was truly capable of. The battle wasn't just about victory, it was about proving humanity's place in the galaxy. In the heart of the war zone, a lone Federation admiral, Vornok, watched the destruction unfold. He had been tasked with overseeing Earth's conquest, but he had made one fatal mistake. He had assumed that humans were weak, that they were nothing more than primitive creatures. Now, he watched as Earth's ancient fleet tore through his forces like paper. Vornak had underestimated the humans' ability to adapt, to innovate, to fight. They were no longer the fragile species that had once been seen as an easy target. Earth had awakened something within itself, something primal, something fierce. And the Federation was about to learn the true meaning of humanity's vengeance. The battle above Earth raged on, an unstoppable force of fire and metal. The Federation, once so confident in their supremacy, now found themselves facing an enemy they had never prepared for. Earth's ancient fleet, powered by the forgotten technologies of a past age, tore through their forces with surgical precision. The war was far from over, but the Federation's grip on Earth was slipping. On the command deck of the lead ship, Dr. Elara Jensen watched the holographic map of the battlefield with a mix of awe and determination. The ancient fleet was holding its ground, pushing back the Federation's ships one by one. But there was no time to celebrate. The true test was still ahead. The Federation's reinforcements were on their way. Back on Earth, the human population watched in awe as the sky above them was filled with the flashes of battle. News outlets broadcast the conflict live, showing the devastation wrought by both sides. But for every human watching in fear, there were thousands more who felt a surge of pride. Humanity was no longer the underdog, they were the ones in control. Meanwhile, Vornak, the Federation admiral, knew his fleet was on the brink of collapse. He had underestimated the humans, and now he was paying the price. His eyes darted across the holographic displays, watching as ship after ship was destroyed. His mind raced. He needed a new strategy, something to turn the tide before it was too late. The Federation had one final card to play, the Dreadnought. A massive warship capable of wiping out entire planets, the Dreadnought was their ultimate weapon, the crown jewel of the Federation's military might. Vornak issued the order to deploy it, hoping it would tip the scales in their favor. But even as he did, a sense of doubt gnawed at him. Could this be enough? Back on Earth, the response was swift. Dr. Jensen had been tracking Federation movements, and she knew what was coming. The Dreadnought was powerful, but it wasn't invincible. It was massive, slow, and vulnerable in ways the Federation had never anticipated. Humanity's ancient fleet, with its agility and superior tactics, had one advantage: they could outmaneuver the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought emerged from the Federation's flagship, its massive form looming over the battlefield. It was a sight to behold, a ship so large that it seemed to swallow the light around it. The very sight of it sent a wave of fear across Earth's fleet. This was the moment of truth. Would humanity's forces hold their ground? On Earth's lead ship, Dr. Jensen and her team watched the Dreadnought approach. The ship's sensors were already picking up the massive energy readings. The Dreadnought's weapons were designed to obliterate entire fleets, but Jensen had a plan. She knew that if they could get close enough, Earth's fleet could hit the Dreadnought's weak points. The Federation's Dreadnought fired first, sending a barrage of devastating energy blasts toward Earth's fleet. The explosions rocked the ships, sending shockwaves across space. But the humans didn't flinch. They had trained for this moment. The ancient fleet had been waiting for a chance to strike back, and now was their time. As the first wave of blasts hit Earth's fleet, the ancient ships moved with deadly precision. They weaved and dodged, their superior maneuverability allowing them to avoid the Dreadnought's powerful, but slow-moving weapons. Then, with a coordinated strike, Earth's fleet closed in on the Dreadnought, unleashing a devastating volley of their own. The Dreadnought's shields flickered as Earth's weapons struck home. The massive ship, designed to be virtually indestructible, was beginning to show signs of damage. The Federation crew on board the Dreadnought panicked. They had never expected this kind of resistance. The human fleet was far more advanced than they had realized. Vornak watched helplessly as the battle unfolded. His Dreadnought was taking hits, its once impenetrable shields failing. His fleet was in disarray, scattered and vulnerable. Earth's fleet had proven far more dangerous than anything he had imagined. He knew the end was near, but he refused to surrender. He had one final desperate measure. He would sacrifice the Dreadnought. Vornak's final order was issued. The Dreadnought would self-destruct, taking as many of Earth's fleet as possible with it. It was a last-ditch effort, a way to go down fighting, but the humans were ready. They knew the Federation was capable of such a desperate move. The ancient fleet's AI systems had already predicted this, and they were prepared to escape. As the dreadnought began to power up its self-destruct mechanism, Earth's fleet broke off, pulling back just in time. The massive ship exploded in a cataclysmic blast that sent shockwaves across the battlefield. But Earth's fleet had already evacuated. The dreadnought's sacrifice had been in vain. The humans had outsmarted them. With the destruction of the dreadnought, the Federation's remaining forces were scattered. The battle was over, and Earth had emerged victorious. The Federation's fleets had been shattered, their hopes of conquering Earth destroyed. But the cost had been high. Thousands of human lives had been lost in the conflict. Yet, in their triumph, humanity had proven something far more important. They would never be underestimated again. The victory was sweet, but fleeting. Earth's ancient fleet had dealt a crushing blow to the Galactic Federation, but the battle was far from over. The Federation, though weakened, was not ready to surrender. Behind their shattered lines, a new threat was quietly taking shape, a threat far more dangerous than any enemy Earth had faced before. Dr. Alara Jensen stood on the command deck of the lead ship, staring out into the vastness of space. Earth had won, but she knew the cost was great. There were still remnants of the Federation lurking in the outer reaches, plotting their next move. Earth had to be ready. It was time to finish what they had started. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth began to rebuild. The once crumbling governments, fragmented by years of war and alien invasion, now united under a single banner. Humanity was stronger than it had ever been. The ancient fleet had proven that Earth was capable of standing toe-to-toe with the galaxy's most powerful forces. But the question lingered: could they continue to defend themselves? The answer came sooner than expected. As Earth began to recover, reports of new Federation fleets began to trickle in. A massive, previously unknown faction of the Galactic Federation had begun mobilizing, this time with a far more terrifying weapon: genetic warfare. These new forces were built not from advanced technology, but from biological weapons designed to break the spirit of any resistance. The new Federation fleet was led by a mysterious commander, known only as the Emperor. His forces, genetically modified and enhanced for battle, were unlike anything humanity had faced. These soldiers were stronger, faster, and far more deadly than any normal alien. They were a new breed of warrior, bred for one purpose: to crush Earth's hope once and for all. The Emperor's fleet arrived without warning, descending upon Earth's defenses like a storm. Their ships were fast and deadly, capable of striking with precision before disappearing back into the void of space. Earth's fleet, still recovering from the last battle, was caught off guard by the sudden onslaught. But they were not unprepared. They had learned from their previous victories. Dr. Jensen knew that Earth's ancient fleet had one advantage: unpredictability. The Federation's new soldiers, despite their enhancements, lacked the raw ingenuity and adaptability of humanity. The humans had always fought against the odds, using their wits to overcome even the most insurmountable obstacles. Now, it was time to prove that the human spirit could not be broken. The battle began with a series of lightning-fast strikes by the Emperor's fleet. Earth's ships, still in the process of rebuilding, struggled to keep up. The genetically enhanced Federation soldiers attacked with ruthless efficiency, overwhelming Earth's defense lines. But as the battle raged on, something unexpected happened. Humanity began to adapt. Dr. Jensen's team worked tirelessly to upgrade the fleet's weapons and systems. The ancient technology they had uncovered was constantly being modified, upgraded, and improved. Earth's engineers had learned how to make the fleet more agile, more lethal, and more capable of outsmarting the Federation's genetically modified soldiers. The humans might have been outnumbered, but they were never outmatched. The tide of the battle turned when Earth's forces began to deploy a new weapon, a hybrid of human ingenuity and ancient technology. These new ships, faster and more maneuverable than ever before, engaged the Federation's forces in close-quarters combat. The genetically enhanced soldiers, despite their power, were no match for the human mind. The Emperor watched from his flagship, his anger growing. The humans, who he had once believed to be weak, were proving to be his greatest adversaries. His genetically modified forces were being picked apart, their strategies foiled at every turn. The humans had learned, adapted, and evolved. They were no longer the helpless species he had once thought them to be. In the heat of the battle, a bold decision was made. Earth's fleet would launch a full-scale assault on the Emperor's flagship, the heart of his forces. It was a risky move, But it was the only way to end the war once and for all. Dr. Jensen oversaw the operation, knowing that failure would mean the end of humanity's fight for freedom. The final assault was a thing of beauty. Earth's fleet, now fully operational and better than ever, broke through the Federation's defenses with surgical precision. The Emperor's flagship, once thought to be invulnerable, was now in their sights. It was a battle of wills, a fight to the death. Humanity was fighting not just for survival, but for its very future. As the battle reached its climax, the Emperor made one last desperate attempt to turn the tide. He unleashed his ultimate weapon, a devastating wave of biological energy designed to destroy all life on Earth. But the humans were ready. Using the ancient fleet's powerful shields and weapons, they absorbed the blast, turning the Emperor's weapon against him. The Emperor's flagship exploded in a blinding flash of light, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The remaining Federation forces scattered, their morale broken. Humanity had triumphed once again. The Federation's greatest threat had been eliminated, and Earth was free. But this time, humanity didn't just survive. They had proven that they were a force to be reckoned with, a force that no one, not even the greatest galactic empire, could ever hope to dominate.